Welcome to Nights in Asia podcast. I'm your host, Asia Alexis. This is a podcast where I discuss what men and women face every day, from relationships, love, sex, entrepreneurship, health, and wealth. I'm going to talk about it. So get ready for a night in Asia.
I'm back. Welcome back to another episode of Nights in Asia podcast. I am your host, Asia Alexis. I know it's been so long. It's kind of crazy even coming back on here to do a podcast episode, but I'm happy to be back. I got to tell y'all what's been going on, what is kind of my life right now, where I've been these last 2 years. No, wait, 3. My last episode was November 2020. So yes, 2.5 years. So I'm just ready to get into it and tell y'all what's been going on. I'm back. I'm ready to do this podcast shit. I had some sense of procrastination or I don't know if it was depression. I don't really know. But I just had this, I lost my spark to do my podcast. And it was crazy because I was so into it. I was so head over heels for it. I loved it. And then it's my spark just went away, where my passion, I didn't want to really do it. I wasn't really feeling it. And it was just crazy because when I was doing my podcast, I heard so much positive feedback. So many people that I went to school with that you wouldn't even imagine would listen to my podcast, was listening to my podcast. And I was like, wow, how you kind of think who's going to support you. But then people kind of don't support you. But it'd be like the people that you never expected. Those be the people that will support you. And I had so many people from school, middle school and friends of friends that was writing me and was like, Asia, your podcast is so good. I look forward to it. You're such a natural and all of this and that. And I don't know. I just kind of lost the spark for it. But I'm back. I am about to be serious about dropping episodes. At least once a week now. I can't tell y'all the day of the week because I think that's setting myself up for failure. But it's going to be every week, as of now. But I just kind of wanted to get into this and talk to y'all about kind of where I've been, what I've been doing, what's been up, what I'm saying. So, okay. So kind of, my last episode was November 2020 with India T. Norfleet. I hope I'm saying that right. Norfleet. Yeah. Go and check that episode out. It was really good. That episode is actually one of my most highly played episodes. And I thought it was a great episode, of course, because I don't put out nothing but the motherfucking best. However, I was shocked that, that's the one that people listen to the most. It has the most plays. But, okay, so where have I been? What I've been doing? So in 2021... I kind of was I was just living my life. I was in the gym heavy. I lost 17 pounds in 2021. I got me a little membership at Planet Fitness and I was working out. I was eating right and I slimmed down, honey. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was so fine. And, I didn't since gain that weight back. But I'm about to lose it again. But 2021, I was really just on my shit. Just living my life. I went to Houston for my birthday. I turned up. I went back to Houston in the summer. Turned up again. Just blowing money. Living my life, living how I should live and doing what I should do. If y'all hear me doing something, I'm pouring up a drink right now. So 2021, I was just living my life. Kind of had that procrastinating spirit. Like I say, I just kind of lost my spark. I wasn't really feeling like doing a podcast. I don't know. It just wasn't flowing. But I was doing that in 2021. So 2021 was lit. 2022, y'all. Now it get a little deep. So 2022, shit kind of hit the fan with me and my daughter's dad. Many of my listeners know, if y'all listen to my show on the regular, well, not really on the regular, but y'all know, my last, what I had, 11 episodes, 12, 13, I don't know. Those episodes, you would hear me talk about my daughter's dad and how we just constantly had this back and forth, this push and pull, this on and off relationship since high school, since November 11, 2011 is when we first started dating. And we always pretty much been, just kind of back and forth like that. And 2022 shit hit the fan. So I don't want to really get into what exactly he did to me. However, I am finally to the point of no reconciliation. I can't forgive him for what he did in a relationship aspect. Like, of course, I can forgive him as a person because, you know, forgiveness is for you. But as far as us like still dealing with each other and stuff like that, it's a hell to the no. So I can honestly say right now that it's been a year and about a year and some change since what he did. Honestly, what he did was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it really forced me. It broke my heart, of course. So like, you know, once you go through that and you know, I was in here in my house, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was so sad with what he did. And, it really just broke me. But it really helped me tremendously, because it made me just really realize how much I was really settling for somebody just off of familiarity, and just it exposed the trauma bond that we really had all of these years, and that we both were confusing with love. And what he did really forced me to go to therapy. Last year, I did 12 sessions of therapy with a Black woman therapist. She was really good. I do think that she could have been, she was a little opinionated. Sometimes I did feel like she was a little judgy. I ain't gonna lie. But I did really appreciate her honesty in a lot of aspects, because she really helped me just unpack a lot of trauma that I already knew, that I kind of already suffered from. I didn't have the best, I had a good childhood. I didn't have the best teenage years with my mom and my parents. And I really feel like I suffer from like middle child syndrome. Like just in my middle children, y'all know what I mean. But like just a feeling of always being left out. Feel like you're always the last one that's thought about. Feel like that people just kind of run over you, and you always are just trying to keep the peace, and people just kind of just don't respect you, or don't just do stuff to you and expect you to just forgive them. Don't really be there for you like they be there for the other kids. And I had a lot of other trauma too that I probably won't get into it on this episode, but you know, one episode I will talk about a little more of like the trauma that I experienced in my teenage years. And to me, it forced me to be in a relationship with somebody who just didn't value me the way that they should have. Because honestly, I know I'm a good girl. And I just got so caught up with this boy trying to prove my worth to somebody who ain't even worth it for me. Why am I trying to prove myself to somebody who literally, no matter what I do, it was always wrong. It was always an issue. I could never do nothing right, you know. And like they always say, the person who does all that accusing and always accusing you of doing stuff, they are really the ones that are doing stuff. And the situation that hit the fan in 2022 just kind of proved that for me. Like, girl, why you sitting over here trying to prove yourself to this man who don't even do anything for you? For real, he out here doing stuff that he accusing you of. So it was really just a catalyst for me, because now I just feel so unfuckwittable. Like, it's literally like I am glad that situation happened, and the girl that participated in the situation, she probably listening right now. Hey girl. So both of them, really, the whole situation, the way it played out, it was very much needed. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that right now. We'll get into it in another date and on another episode, so y'all can hear what really happened. I don't know if I can tell y'all the full extent of what happened. I don't know. It's still a little fresh, maybe, you know. So I really feel like therapy really helped me unpack my trauma, really helped me see that, you know, I have issues, deep-rooted issues that just caused me to do certain things, and that kind of played out into the relationship that I had with my daughter's dad, and just accepting just what he was giving me. It was just horrible. And looking back, I just feel so sad for myself, because it's just like, oh, baby girl, like that man is mentally abusive. Like that man y'all had no business dating for as long as y'all did, even being involved with each other for as long as y'all did. Like that was a serious trauma bond. And like I say, I think I have said it before, I wasn't always right, but I do feel like a lot of my stuff was after his 3 things, I did 1 thing to every 3 things that he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it don't make it right. But I do feel like we both were people who just kept hurting each other back and forth. I really feel like it was really 70% him and 30% me. He probably would really agree with that. But I do feel like, it's not my loss. And I mean that humbly. I swear. I mean that humbly. But anybody that I lose is not a loss for me. Because I know my heart. I know the shit that I do. I know my love is so genuine, so pure. It's never my loss. So that kind of hit the fan in 2022. I actually went to a stress protest in September of 2022 with Girl Trek. It was in Estes Park, Colorado. It was such a good experience. I've been to Colorado once before, but this experience was a very good experience. We was up in the mountains, and that really just put a lot of stuff into perspective too, because so many women, it was like a healing retreat. And so many women just go through the same thing, or even worse, where you're going through a heartbreak, or like your husband cheated on you. He left you for a younger woman, or you're, just something. Every woman there was, they lived through that. That's just unfortunately part of life. Heartbreak is a part of life. But it was such a great experience, and I learned how to double dutch, because I took a double dutch aerobics class, and it was amazing. So that I did that in September of 2022. So pretty much what I've been doing, that's all I've really been doing. I've been traveling. I went to Colorado again. Was that 2022? Yeah, I went to Colorado in 2022 too, to go see my best friend. So I went to Colorado twice last year. But yeah, I've just been pretty much living my life. Just kind of just doing my thing, working, just doing my thing. And I also really wanted to get into this because I remember I made a tweet a while ago that said, like, if you're not helping, you're hindering. And this just kind of just put stuff into perspective for me. But I remember, like, I had a little conversation with someone about what I meant by that, because a lot of times when you say stuff like that, people automatically go to monetary things. And honestly, I wasn't even talking about monetary things. Like, the situation with my daughter's dad, the way that I feel right now that the rose-colored glasses are off, it's literally like, life be lifing. And if my partner don't bring me peace, or don't alleviate some of the responsibilities that I carry on a day-to-day basis, you really aren't doing anything for me. And I think a lot of women need to understand that, because, like, I've been talking to my daughter's dad, like, we, when this situation happened, we kind of called it quits early January of last year, January 2022. So, I feel like my life has not missed a beat since he has not been here. Like, I still go to work full time. I still pay all of my bills by myself. I still have to make appointments for my daughter, make appointments for myself, keep my house clean, take my trash out, wash the dishes, clean the bathroom, vacuum the floor, take my car to get an oil change, take my car to get my brakes fixed. I still got to take my daughter to her hair appointment, spend time with my daughter, get off from work, run errands. You know what I'm saying? Wash clothes, fold clothes. I still have to do all of these things. He was not helping me with anything. Like, I've been living on my own. I lived on my own 1 year in my previous apartment. I tried to make it work. Me and my daughter moved out of my apartment. This was back in 2018. And we went and lived with him, and we tried to do that shit again. it only lasted 6 months. And then I moved into my current apartment, and I've been in this apartment for 4.5 years. Mind you, I have always paid full rent. I pay my own bills. Like, nothing that he was doing really was helping me in any way. And I feel like once you really sit down and take that in and just know that all this person was really a distraction and just not adding any value to my life. You're not alleviating any stress. You're adding stress. Like, life is already going life. You know, you're going to have issues. Like my car, I didn't even tell y'all because I ain't had an episode. My car actually caught on fire last year in the parking lot of my job. I had a 2013 Hyundai Accent. I had that car since 2015. My daughter grew up in the car. Randomly one day, I got back from my lunch break. I went inside my work building, and we heard the building engineer screaming for someone to call 911. He said someone's car was on fire. I look outside. It's my car, bitch. My car was on fire, up in flames, like literally burning to a crisp. By the time the fire department came, you know, my car was totaled. And so my insurance company, of course, had to cut me a check and all of that. So I ended up getting a new car. But I say that to say, like, that I literally was at work. I was calling, you know, trying to get my car picked up, talking to the insurance company. I'm at work on my lunch break, doing all of that. I actually caught COVID for a second time around that time. And I also had I think this is how it played out. I literally had a kidney infection because I started some new birth control, and come to find out the birth control was the reason of the kidney infection. So I had a kidney infection. What's that before? Hold on, y'all. Let me try to get it together. Irregardless, I had a kidney infection. I had to deal with that. I was really down bad. I didn't know what was wrong with me, y'all. I thought I literally was gonna die. Like, the symptoms of a really bad kidney infection is serious. But come to find out, it was my birth control that caused it. Then either before or after the kidney infection, I had COVID for a second time. So I had COVID. Then, kidney infection. Then my car caught on fire. Probably like a week after that. So I'm dealing with all these things simultaneously. Oh my God, y'all. How do you say it? Simultaneously. I'm dealing with all this stuff back to back. You catch my drift. I'm dealing with this back to back. And this was in 2022. My car caught on fire in May 2022. So I'm just like, bruh. How would he have alleviated any of the stress that I was dealing with? He wouldn't have. Why the fuck is he around? You know what I'm saying? Like, I still had to go to work. I still had to take care of my daughter, take care of my house, pay my bills. I still had to do all of this stuff while battling COVID, a kidney infection, and my motherfucking car just caught on fire. So I had a shop for a new. They put me in a rental, thank God, for like 3 weeks. Then I had a shop for a new car. All of this, and it just really set into like, this man is adding no value. Cause he wouldn't have helped me anyway. With anything, because we just live two separate lives. He's always over there, and I'm over here with me and my daughter. So this situation, the situation that happened early of last year, just really, really helped me take those rose-colored glasses off and see what it really is, and not what I wanted it to be. Because of course, women, and some men, but mostly women, we fall in love with the potential. We might get a glimpse of what it can be every once in a while. We'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, if only it can stay like this. Like, he's giving me a glimpse of how it would be if he just got it together. But it don't last long. And it just shows us that, you're just settling. You're settling in a situation where you have no business being in a situation. I feel like we just weren't equally yoked. We never really have been equally yoked. Like, and I'm not talking to bash him in any way, but this is my truth. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion, my truth. But I feel like I'm just a very hard worker. I'm a go-getter. I don't wait on nobody. I know how to budget my money. I know how to handle my business. Like, I work a full-time job, and I don't, I make my money do what it do. And I feel like a lot of times these men don't know how to do that. Like, I guess but I don't know. These men have mommy issues, daddy issues too. They need to go to therapy just like us women, but they put it off. They feel like, how black men with therapy are. But it's just like, I don't know. That situation really was a blessing in disguise for me. I feel like I'm just now getting my mojo back. I'm getting my spark back. I'm ready to start recording again and just do my shit. Like, this is the stuff that I really like to do. And I feel like I kind of lost my spark for a minute, and I feel like I'm back. But, I feel like when you don't have people weighing you down, and you don't have bad energy around you, and you can actually focus on other stuff besides this roller coaster of a relationship, you can put your energy into stuff that really matters. Put your energy in stuff that really matters. And so much good things been happening to me since I just really let that situation go. It's such a beautiful liberation of emotions, and it's just so liberating because it just took so much of my mental, so much of my energy just to deal with him every day. And I didn't even know that it was draining me. Like, when you get out of a situation, you just be like, wow, like that man was holding me back like that. Like, all we was doing was playing house and going out and having sex. All you miss is the familiarity. You miss the regular scheduled program. You miss someone to talk to in the middle of the day, someone to send memes to. You miss that. But if you really look at what the relationship was, you don't miss that nigga. You don't. You are happy to be, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody need to hear this. You are happy to be free. And you can still miss someone and be happy that they're not in your life. You can still love someone and wish them the best, but be happy that they're not in your life. And that's how I am right now, where it's like, I don't want that back. Like, I'm good. I did what I want, I did what I did. It's what I thought. That relationship was what I thought I wanted at one time, and I was fighting for it. And, I wasn't always perfect. I never want to play the innocent role, but I feel like once you really come out of a situation and especially a trauma bond, and my people who are in a trauma bond, it's a trauma bond. You will be better off without that person, but it's hard to break that tie. I don't want to call it a soul tie because I think that's kind of cliche, but it's hard to break that cord. It's hard because you're so used to the roller coaster of emotions that it's just familiar to you. You feel lost without it. I remember in one of my sessions with my therapist, I told her, I was like, I'm kind of bored. I go see my friends. I feel like I don't have nothing to talk about. It's just weird, She was like, honestly, Asia, that's peace. She said, you are so not used to having peace that it feels foreign to you. And I had to really think like, wow, she's right, because my emotions were always so up and down for 10 years. And even when that situation, what he did happen, I used to have a folder of like screenshots of messages and screenshots of tweets and like just stuff that I can go back and read that would hurt me over and over again. Like, it was almost like I was so used to being hurt or feeling some type of way that I didn't know how to feel when I didn't feel that emotion. It was foreign. And I have since deleted all of that stuff out of my phone. But literally, you just really see that it just really, y'all just wasn't equally yoked, and y'all had no business really being together for as long as y'all was anyway. And I just hope that whoever is listening who needed to hear that, really apply it, y'all, because really you're going to live your best life without them. And of course, you're going to go through the initial stage of grief because you're grieving a relationship. You're grieving a person that's still alive, but you're going to feel that type of grief and that sadness and that lost feeling, because when I first cut him off, I felt like I lost my right arm. But my friends, they were there. My best friend Jackie she really helped me through that whole process, like, because she was going through a little something too. But we really leaned on each other, and my friends, my sister, like, it was just amazing, like, because they've been through similar stuff. You know, we all have. And even my best friend, Ken Shayla, like, we all have been through things with men. And, you know, so they was just like, you gonna get through it. You know, you just got to go through this initial part. And this is the hard part, you know. But once you come out of that and you can look at it in a different way, you're going to see the blessing in it. And you really got to find the blessing and the lesson. Because once you do that, you're just going to feel so different about that person, about the situation, about the heartbreak. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, well, that shit needed to happen, because I would have probably been in that situation another 10 years, you know. So, yeah, I kind of went on a little tangent there, but definitely, I'm just excited to be back. I'm ready to start making some more content for y'all and just doing some more episodes and just getting a little further in detail about some certain things. But I don't want this episode to be too long. I just kind of wanted to let y'all know that I'm back in this bitch and I'm ready to do what I came to do. But make sure that y'all follow my personal Instagram is Asia__Alexis. Follow the podcast Instagram page at nights_in_Asia_. Like my page on Facebook, which is Nights in Asia Podcast. And also, if you have any type of questions or comments, definitely send it to my email at nightsinasia@gmail.com. That is the letter N, nightsinasia@gmail.com. Thank y'all so much for listening, and I really appreciate it. And let's run these numbers up, because you know she's back, okay? And this particular episode is probably not gonna have any visual. It'll be available on YouTube, but it's no I'm not on camera or anything, but I am going to start back doing that. But make sure you go like that YouTube channel. It's Nights in Asia Podcast. And yeah, so thank y'all so much for listening. And did I say that right? Thank y'all so much for listening. And I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.